How you all doing? My name is Christopher Brown. You're now listening to my podcast, Sports Talk with Chris. And right now I have for you my Eagles pregame show. The Philadelphia Eagles are going against the New York Giants today, 8:20 Thursday Night Football. Man, both teams are stinking it up. Yes, y'all know who my favorite team is, but we're playing bad right now. 1-4-5. The Giants aren't any better. 1-5. The roster is already bad. It is. Saquon Barkley went down early in the season with a torn ACL. That honestly just ended their season right there. Any hopes that they had to be in a competitive football team ended with Saquon Barkley becoming injured. Now this game right here, for the Philadelphia Eagles, this is a thank you game. Honestly. Steelers, Ravens, two of the best defenses with all the injuries on the offense, and we still put up 28-28. We still put up high-scoring performances, so now we're going against a New York Giants defense who is literally almost last in every single statistical category when it comes to defense. This is a thank you game. But you got to look, right? The injuries are even worse. Now, I understand Deshaun Jackson is coming back this week. I think Maddox is coming back this week. And Lane Johnson. That's thank you. But, man, Miles Sanders gone for 4 to 6 weeks. Zach Ertz gone for a month and some change. So you give us a wide receiver and an offensive lineman back. Also, we have a guard back. I think Pryor's back this week, if I'm not mistaken. But you take away the running back and the tight end. So we get some to lose somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? The injuries on this team really affected their entire season. I don't care what anybody says. I understand injuries is a part of the game, but no team, entire offense has been taken away from them like the Philadelphia Eagles. At one point this week, I said, oh my gosh, the only two starters that remain from the beginning of the season to right now is Carson Wentz and Jason Kelce. Two, very good players, but where's everybody else? You're having to replace everybody else with rookies and third strings, fourth strings type of guys going against the Steelers and the Ravens. And we were still competitive. We still almost won those games. You look at that Ravens game, man, we had 2 or 3 drop touchdowns. Hightower, I like him. He gets open. He's a big play type of receiver, but he drops too many passes. Had 1 catch for 50 yards. Could have been 4 catches for 100 plus because he dropped like a 90 plus touchdown. He was wide open. Ravens had a blown coverage, second, third play of the game with the Eagles having the ball. Blown coverage. It was him in the end zone. He dropped it. Miles Sanders dropped a touchdown before he got hurt and had to leave the game. So many players dropped passes that game. Carson Wentz was 21 for 40, but it should have been 21 for 31 with all the drop passes we had. Now, going against the Giants, like I said, they're not a good defensive team, and they're not a good offensive team. For them, they have Shepard out. He's on IR. They have another wide receiver out, a safety in the corner. Their roster is already depleted, so injuries for them isn't going to help them. Like I said, they're bottom in a lot of defensive categories. They're also bottom in a lot of offensive categories. Daniel Jones right now, 61 completion percentage, 6 interceptions, sacked 17 times. This team's not it right now, man. This team is not it right now. Third down percentage, only 44. Man, I don't know. Not even putting up 100 yards on the ground. So the running game is there. You can tell without Saquon. Not even averaging 300 yards per game, rushing and passing. This team is not good. They're not good. So when I look at the Philadelphia Eagles, I say, okay, what should happen in this game? Daniel Jones was sacked 17 times this year. Right now, we're at top 5. Top 3, honestly. Third right now in the league in sacks with 22. So what should happen in this game? We should get 4 or 5, 6 sacks even. That's the truth. 4, 5, 6 sacks because this offensive line isn't good. Our defensive line is the bread and butter of our team. There's no reason why we don't get 6 to 7 sacks. What else do I want to see? I want to see Deshaun Jackson be involved. Listen, all our wide receivers are hurt, Deshaun Jackson. You're a legend, but man, I need to see that with the Eagles right now. The past 2 years, you've been banged up with injuries. It's been hurting us. It's honestly been hurting us. So I need to see Deshaun Jackson have a big game. He needs to get the targets. He needs to get the ball in his hands because we've been complaining about receivers. Fulgham, to me, his production and his usage rate should not go down. He should still get the same amount of targets he's been getting the past couple of weeks. But with Deshaun Jackson back, another, established receiver, Deshaun Jackson should be an integral part in this offense. Also, I want to see how are we going to be able, What's the running game going to be like? Because like I said, Miles Sanders is hurt. Miles Sanders was top 7 in rushing yards in the entire league, and he missed game 1. And he honestly hasn't got the ball as much as he should have been getting. 434 yards on 71 attempts. Honestly, should have been closer to the 90s and the 100s because it was some games where he's having 90 plus, 100 plus yards, and still the Eagles aren't establishing a run. You look at the past 2 games against, two of the best run defenses, he was able to pop 2 74-yard runs against them. Miles Sanders is legit. Miles Sanders is a beast. It's unfortunate that he's going to be out for about 4 weeks because he was honestly, I predicted him to have one of the best running back seasons, and he was on pace to do it, Yes, I understand he was dropping some passes, but on the ground, I think his production wasn't going to drop. Averaging 6.1 yards per attempt, most in the NFL. 3 touchdowns. I just feel 86 yards a game. He was catching on. So my thought process is, okay, we still have to run the ball, but who's going to get most of the carries? You look at the Eagles right now. Number 1 is Miles Sanders in rush yards for the year. Number 2 is Carson Wentz with 171 on 28 attempts. Number 3 is Boston Scott, 21 attempts, 67 yards. Number 4 is Jalen Hurts, 7 attempts, 49 yards. And number 5 is Corey Clement, 11 attempts, 30 yards. You look at the 2 backup running backs, they're averaging 3.2 yards per carry and 2.7 yards per carry. Okay, which one of you guys are going to step up? Boston Scott. We seen what Boston Scott was able to do last year. We saw it. Kind of in that Darren Sproles type of role. Where's his production at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to see Boston Scott back in offense. Same thing with Corey Clement. Corey Clement, I need you to step up. That big Super Bowl game you had, yes, but where have you been after that? Battling injuries, I understand, but right now, we only have 2 running backs. Somebody has to step up. Now, I was upset that Jordan Howard left. I wanted us to keep him because a 1-2 punch in a running game, 2 good running backs, I feel like every team has that. You look at Dallas. You have Zeke, then after Zeke, you put in Tony Pollard, who's still a very good running back. Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Miles Sanders, yes, can be an every down back, but I still want a running back that can really just go in between the guards, not even just in between the tackles. I'm talking about a running back. I'm talking about a bruiser type of running back. I miss LeGarrette Blount. I miss him. So I feel like I wish we would have went out in free agency or trades and got another running back. It has nothing to do with Miles Sanders. I think he's a great running back. I just think every team needs multiple running backs on their team. And right now, it's not looking like we believe in Corey Clement. It's not looking like we believe in Boston Scott. And I don't want to get away from the running game going against this Giants team. Because the strength about this team is their defensive backs. So I want to be able to establish the run. I do. But who is going to be that person establishing a run for us? Travis Fulgham right now is our leading receiver. 18 receptions, 284 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like I said, I don't want his production or his targets to go down. Second is Greg Ward. I wish he can be able to get back into the mix. But if you look at it, Zach Ertz is third. He's gone. Dallas Goedert only in 3 games played, and he really was injured as soon as that 3rd game started. He's 4th right now receiving yards. Number 5 is Deshaun Jackson. Number 6 is Hightower, but 19 targets, 8 catches. A lot of those were drops. So we need the receivers to step up. And like I said, on the defensive side, top 3 in sacks. Brandon Graham has 5 right now in the first 6 weeks. Brandon Graham is having a monster year. I like it. Josh Sweat is 3rd. We needed him to step up. He's a young pass rusher. He's waiting for him to pop. He's doing his thing right now. Barnett is 4th. Avery is 5th. Mills has 1.5. I need Fletcher Cox, with Malik Jackson being on, I need Fletcher Cox to really step up in the interior when it comes to the defensive line, when it comes to getting pressures, when it comes to getting sacks. I need him to step up. And stopping the run, we're able to stop the run. And the Giants aren't a very good running team. So they're going to pass the ball. I need our corners to step up. We have Maddox. I need Darius Slay to have a big game. Mills to have a big game. Listen, this team is not good. We're hurt. We're banged up. You can say we're not good either, but the Giants just are not good in general. So the Philadelphia Eagles, you see what I got on. What do we have to do to be successful? Well, for starters, we have to dominate them, our defensive side versus their offense. On the defensive side for us, we have to be purely dominant, okay? We need 5 to 6 sacks, if not more. We need to stop them on third downs. We need to stop them early. And on the offensive side, we just cannot turn the ball over. We cannot turn the ball over. Even if we're getting 3s instead of 7s, because I feel like we're going to get some 7s. We just cannot turn the ball over. This game should just be, should be perfect for us. No turnovers. Carson Wentz, like I said, is leading the NFL. Carson Wentz is leading the NFL in interceptions. I understand that. His Pro Football Focus grade first 4 weeks was 31st, second worst in the NFL. Well, the past 3 weeks, it's top 10. Why? Because he's been playing better, but he still has to cut down on those turnovers. So if he can cut down on those turnovers, that's a huge plus for this team. Like I said, I want to see Deshaun Jackson get at least 7 to 10 targets today. I want to see him have a big game. I want to see Fulgham still being able to have a good game. Then I want to see what running back is going to step up. And I have an interesting thought. So, like I said, our running backs haven't been the most consistent. Part of that's O-line, but part of that is on them. Will Jalen Hurts have more of a factor this game because Miles Sanders being hurt? We want to help establish that running game. Do we put Jalen Hurts in there and do some gimmick plays? I want to be surprised at it. I like Jalen Hurts. I do. I always said I wish we drafted him in a third, fourth round instead of where we drafted him at, because what is one of the focuses right now, or what is one of the positions that's killing us? Linebacker. I thought we could have got a quality linebacker in this draft. Also, I thought we could have drafted a quality running back in this draft, but hey, that's a different story. We have Jalen Hurts. We can use him. I love him. I think he's a very good backup quarterback. And for everybody that was wanting him to start, first of all, they're back on the Carson Wentz train, especially after last week. Listen, we know what Carson Wentz is. He has a cannon. He's going to will you to win. No, he's not always the most accurate all the time, which I wish he would work on, because some throws he might, that's why he has a lot of interceptions, some missed throws, but he's going to take the shots. He's a big play type of quarterback. But it's hard to be a big play type of quarterback when you have no weapons, so he's going to will us to victories. And I don't see anything different against the Giants. 8:20 kickoff on Fox. Listen, man. I expect pure dominance. I don't want to see it being a close game. It might, just because it's a divisional game, divisional rivalry. When you play division games, just throw record out the window. That's why the Raiders were able to beat the Chiefs, because division games are like no other. But I don't want it to be close. I don't. I'm serious, man. I don't want it to be close. And speaking of our defense, we get a lot of sacks, but you want to know one thing that we're bad in right now is creating turnovers. It's creating turnovers. Our turnover differential from us to our opponents is like a -7. We're not creating a lot of turnovers. We need to get better at that. We need to get interceptions. We need to force fumbles. We need to do something. The defense has to be the best part of this team. And I've been saying for a while, the defensive line, plus all the money in the defensive line is the best position group for the Philadelphia Eagles. So they need to step up, and they need to be 20 times better than what they're playing right now. Not saying they're playing bad, but listen, if the offense is struggling, I know we're third right now in sacks, but at the end of this week, we need to be first. Our defense has to be consistent. We have to be able to tackle, for one. We have to be able to get people off the field on third down. And our corners have to step up. They do. Because we did give up, a lot of points against the Steelers, against the Ravens. You look at the Steelers game, Claypool had 4 touchdowns by himself. I know it's a lot of penalties, but still, it was a lot of fundamental things the Philadelphia Eagles did wrong. You go against the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, Lamar Jackson doesn't even have over 200-plus passing yards. We do good in the passing game. But in the running game, he hit us for 101 off missed tackles, off blown assignments. So the Eagles' defense has to be the best part of them today and moving forward until our offense becomes healthy. I understand we're getting Lane Johnson back and Deshaun Jackson back, but like I said, you have Miles Sanders out. The rest of the O-line is out. You have both tight ends out, both of them. In the beginning of the year, I said both tight ends will have top 10 tight end type of years. Goddard was doing this thing the first, 2 games. He got hurt, like I said, early in the third game. Zach Ertz, he was getting double teamed a lot. Still up there in receptions, targets. I feel like he was going to have a big game soon. Now they're both gone. Now they're both, not scheduled to come back to around week 10, week 11. But this is where I'm not too upset. You look at the next, you look at the schedule, which I'm going to get more into in the post game, but I'm just going to get a preview of it. So we have the Giants this week, 8:20. Then we have the Cowboys and Giants, then a bye. Then we have the Cleveland Browns after the bye, and I believe that'll be week 10, week 11. So we have, some time to get our players healthy. Our schedule is on us. We should take care of business tonight. It's not going to be a great game. It's going to be ugly. We need to take care of business tonight, then go to Dallas, beat Dallas, then play the Giants again, take care of business, then go into the bye with 3 wins and let the players get healthy. Now it's going to be an ugly game. Like I said, I want the defense. We need the defense to have the best game. We need the defense to hold them to under 10 points. We need the defense to have a lot of sacks. Hopefully create some turnovers. Daniel Jones right now has 6 interceptions on the year. Hopefully we can make it 7 or 8. We need to slow down those wide receivers. Their running game, they're not even averaging over 100 yards a night. It shouldn't change tonight. Hold them under 90. Hold them under 80. Then the offense just cannot turn the ball over. Carson Wentz has to take control. Sean Jackson back. Okay, we have another receiver. No excuses now. The only thing I'm worried about is the running game. We have to somehow find a way to establish that. Whether that's Jalen Hurts being in on gimmick plays, whether that's Boston Scott and Corey Clement, to me, who are capable, backup running backs, being able to at least have 100 yards in between them, plus the yards Carson Wentz going to get, plus Jalen Hurts if he gets some carries. There's no reason why the Eagles don't have over 100 plus yards on the ground. There's no reason why Carson Wentz doesn't have 250 plus passing yards. I predict the score is going to be around 21-10. It's not going to be cute. It's not going to be, fancy, but we're going to get the job done. Philadelphia Eagles, the fans, let's get ready to watch some football. Now I have a bet for you. This is how I'm going to end it off. You can see my hair is wild right now. It's wild. So here's my thing. If the Eagles do not make the playoffs this year, whether that's winning the division or the wild card, if the Philadelphia Eagles do not make the playoffs this year, what am I going to do? I'm going to cut all my hair off. Been growing it for months. Eagles don't let me down. But I just want to say thank you all for listening to the pregame show. Sports Talk with Chris, pregame Philadelphia Eagles show. I will have the postgame show with you. Now I have different options. So one, I can either, do the postgame and upload it tonight, or I might make it just the audio version and have it on, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, on my, podcast platform. So we're just going to see how it goes. Regardless, though, it's going to be live. Raw emotion after we get the victory. Fly, Eagles, fly. On the road to victory. Y'all know the song. Y'all know the chant. Let's go Philadelphia Eagles. 8:20 kickoff. I'm going to be tuned in. So should you. Peace.